a personal statement. Um, with personal statements, it's really important to understand it's not about what you write about, but it's about how you write about your topic. Um, what does that mean, right? There are some essays that can go really well, and there are some essays that can go really bad, depending on how you choose to talk about what you're talking about. Now, there are some just like no essays, like if you are racist in your essay, or if you are express homophobic or you're sexist or whatever ism, right? That's right. I think that's common sense. We stay away from those things, right? But when we are looking at at your personal statement, you want to share something about who you are, right? Something that has helped you evolve, helped you become who you are today. And so if you're stuck with your personal essay, it might be helpful to think about this. Take a piece of paper and write everything you know about yourself, like just words, different like action words, doesn't matter, to describe yourself, how your friends would describe you. Write every single one of those down, right? And then just pick out maybe the 5 to 7 words that mean the most to you, right? And so you'd want to just write everything you can possibly think of and how you would think about yourself just on a piece of paper. And after you've literally written every single thing about yourself down, you want to take some time to look at that piece of paper, or look at your iPhone or your whatever you've written it down, and just reflect on which ones pop immediately and which ones stand out to you, right? After you've done that, then write different associations and memories that you have with those various words, right? And so maybe it might be helpful to do like a little bubble map. And then, from there, right, look at the stories, right? Which ones are standing out to you the most, right? That's going to help you narrow down your topic, the topic you want to talk about. And then, looking at, after you select your 7 words and you look at those stories and associations with those words, right, you're going to select a few, right? And then you're going to see and think about all those stories in conjunction with each other, right? And then maybe the 3 that you selected to come to the kind of like the finals. And you pick one, right? And even amongst that, characteristic and the stories and associations with that characteristic, what do you actually want to share with others about yourself, right? Just because you have something that's incredible that's happened with you doesn't mean you want to share it with other people. Because that's something special to you and to those people who you have those memories with. And so you want to make sure that you are sharing a part of who you are and what makes you special and unique. Now, understand that a personal essay is not to sum up your entire life and what makes you special about every single. It's not possible to sum up yourself in, I don't even know what it is, 250 words, because you are more than that, right? But you just want to you want the essay to show just a glimpse, a memory, a moment, an event, a time, a second, that really reflects who you are, and what are some, important things that you hold true to yourself. It's really quite simple. I've read essays about the floor. I've read essays, about, students just like, doing crazy things like composting their own feces and, about their menstrual cycles, right? Some of those essays can go really bad, and some of those essays can go really quite well, right? And so, for example, the student who had written about her menstrual cycle, she talked about that in the light of womanism and how womanism is, important to her identity, as a woman of color, and how that plays out for her, and what that means for her, right? How that's empowering for her to help others, and then connected that with a really strong moment of her standing up for herself in the classroom, right? That she just shared like honestly at 30, maybe what was probably a 30-second clip of a moment, with her essay, with her essay, and like basically not a literal clip, but basically she wrote about a 30-minute second, a 30-second moment that happened in her classroom, and that led to this really powerful and wonderful essay. And so again, keep in mind that it's not about what you write about as well how you write about that topic, right? Because again, reading about someone's menstrual cycle might not be the most entertaining read for someone, but in the way she did it, right, she connected it with power, right, and empowerment, and that was what that means for her, and how she then took that to the next level, and that was so incredibly, honestly, wonderful to read. With supplemental essays, so typically, not always, but typically when you apply to a college in the Common App, or on score, you are going to submit supplemental essays. And so with that being said, you want to make sure you put your best foot forward to the supplements. You don't want to copy and paste your supplement from one supplement to another, because you have to remember that these college admissions officers are incredibly smart and bright people. And yes, you might be smarter than them, but you're not going to out experience them. Right. And so, like, these people have sometimes, doctors and masterates, if not both. And so, it's important to ensure that you are writing each essay that is uniquely specific to that college. And even though you feel like, well, these colleges all look the same, and there are differences within the colleges that make them kind of unique and special. And so keep in mind that, again, they can kind of sniff through those things, and that your essay is uniquely, intertwining, what you want to discuss in this essay with some stuff that is very, very special and specific to that college. There are times where, I've read essays about Vassar, for example, and that was really awkward when I was working in Haverford, right? And so, like, waitlist immediately. It doesn't matter if you're the best kid in that class. Like, if you're going to talk about another school and that essay, like, you're dismissed. And so you want to make sure that, even if you're using just a small excerpt from another line, keep in mind that it's so important, for you to ensure that you are very specific and writing about the college, and you are proofing and cross-checking everything. Another common error I think that students make is that they focus on kind of general characteristics of that college, but they don't really talk about details. It's really easy to go to a website and like say like, oh, okay, like they have this crate and this quality and this type of orientation. It's important to keep in mind that just saying superficials on the website is not good enough, right? That's a pretty kind of basic essay. Or citing or throwing in a professor's name or throwing in a class here, that is not specific, nor is it going to get you admitted to the college of your dreams if you're not authentically diving deep. Like, it's fine to mention professor and it's fine to mention a class, right? But you need to go beyond saying taking so-and-so's class in, the psychology department, etc. That's not good enough. You're not gonna hit where you want to hit in terms of the schools you want to be admitted to if you just stay superficial like that. You want to take a deeper dive. Yes, I know that there are limits to what you can say, but trust me, there's a lot that you can say in the limits that are presented, and you want to make sure that you are being dynamic and powerful with your writing and purposeful. It's so important. Writing with a purpose is the key to navigating these supplemental essays, so keep that in mind. With optional essays, anything that's optional, just do it. Why? Because it's an extra opportunity for you to like share kind of something about yourself. Yeah, have students been admitted who did not submit optional essays to colleges? Absolutely, all the time, probably, right? Like, but in itself, like, you want to give yourself the best possible position to be admitted. Like, that's what you want to do, and so keep that in mind. You want to do anything that's optional for you. With that being said, again, when you're writing all these essays, make sure that, again, it's specific and unique to the college, and specific and unique to you as well. Another, kind of fun thing, if you have siblings who apply to college, don't use their essays. A great colleague of mine, he was at the institution that I worked at for like 5 years, and his brother had used his essay to apply to college. Right, and so he remembered like the exact supplement. He's like, I remember this. It's like, so even if it's like 2 or 3 years ago, like college, we have really, even though we read thousands upon thousands of files, there's a great memories up in here. And so keep that in mind. You don't want to use anyone else's essays, because the college representative will know. Especially when you go to the same school, because guess what? When you're in kind of Slate, which is the program that colleges use to read applications, they're going to see your brother's name, and sometimes they go and click that application from the past, and that application is going to come up, and you can just see if they wrote the same thing or not. So just keep that in mind, as you're kind of reading, writing, and revising your essays. And always don't seek more than just a small handful of people to read and review your essays. You want to make sure that your voice is distinctively yours. Okay.